Hey, what's up everybody? This is Justin Johnson, and I'm super excited to have gotten this box today. Inside this box is a brand new guitar from a company called Wide Sky Guitars out in Taos, New Mexico. And let's hang out and see what's inside this box. And want to give a shout out to Jack if you're watching out there. He gave me this beautiful, my ceremonial unboxing knife right here. But I guess it was a few months ago, I was on tour down in New Mexico, playing a couple of festivals in Santa Fe and also in Taos, New Mexico. And while I was down there, one of the things I definitely wanted to do was check out the workshop and meet Patch, who is the luthier behind Wide Sky Guitars. Let's get this baby open, pack this thing up real nice. And I've been following Wide Sky Guitars previously to that on Instagram mainly because, you know, every once in a while you see these pictures go by in your feed, and I used to watch the pictures of the guitars that were coming out of his workshop, and they're just amazing, just beautiful. And not only are they great quality instruments, but I love the fact that he's got a real both a sort of a blues bent. You know, he loves those old roots and blues acoustic guitars, but he also adds a new spin, like his own aesthetic quality to them that's very reminiscent to the art down in the Southwest, you know, down in New Mexico in those areas. And so you get this awesome artistic hybrid of different styles, sort of like Mississippi meets, you know, Taos or Santa Fe. And you should check out, after you watch this, check out his website too, which is wideskyguitars.com. He's got great pictures, great coverage of all of his instruments. He's got a blog. Nice case too. All of his guitars, I mean, they're such high quality instruments, and you can just tell by the case, man, this thing is gorgeous. This thing is beautiful. I love it. All of his cases also are custom made to fit specifically his instruments. And this model right here, about to look at it for the first time, I'm so excited, is the PL1.
Oh my God.
Oh man, that is beautiful. You can see the slotted headstock, again, Wide Sky Guitars. I love the aged hardware too. There's hope you can see that in the live stream. It's not like shiny chrome, it looks like it's 100 years old, like, you know, fresh out of the box. Wow. The finish too, can you smell that, Nikki? That smells great. Wow, that is awesome. So also with this trapeze tailpiece right here, it's got that aged look to it. And there's not a thick finish on it either. You can see some of the wood grain. There's a hand-rubbed oil finish that he puts on this. So that's all hand done. It's got a company called Mule Pickups did the pickup here. It's an old antique version of a mini humbucker. You can see the volume knob, a little roller on that also. A floating pick guard right here. And it's kind of hard to see, but there's also a slight arch to the top. There's a slight arch top there, and that affects the sound and the playability in a very positive way. And you know, that's how these the old Gibson L1s, which is what this was based on, they had an arch top like that too, and I think he actually exaggerates that arch top a little bit. So whenever you get a guitar like this, especially brand new, they're usually slack strings, so I'm going to tune these strings up. If you guys have any questions about it too, feel free to ask here on the live stream. Man, the feel of it, the weight, the balance, everything is just what you'd expect. No, so I was talking to Patch also. Patch Rubin is the luthier, again, behind Wide Sky Guitars. And when he was learning how to build acoustic guitars, he was telling me that he saw one of their super rare type of Gibson that was made back in the early 1900s called the L1. And I'm sure most of you guys, blues fans out there especially, have seen that iconic picture of Robert Johnson, that old black and white picture of him playing you know, posing with the guitar. He was actually posing with the Gibson L1, so that was the guitar that Robert Johnson played. And Patch got the chance to measure, got to really know the L1 designs from those original Gibsons, and he fell in love with the design, so he makes his own version of it where, you know, the body shape, certain things are reminiscent of the L1, the tailpiece here, the arch top, but he also, he changed the depth of it, so a lot of those L1s were a lot more narrow. This is more like some of the old Nick Lucas Gibson acoustics, which I love those old Nick Lucas Gibsons. That gives it a little more bass presence, a little more body to the tone, which, you know, it's good to have that cut, but you also want a little bit of low-end body to round it out and give you some presence and some beefiness to the tone. These tuners are feel great. It's nice, you know, a lot of people overlook the quality of tuners and how important it is to have really good quality tuners. Also, look at the artistic embellishments on those. Those look so cool. And the shape behind here also, the woodworking, it's one of those guitars where you just look at every little detail and you can tell there wasn't a nuance that was overlooked. Just about tuning. I'm tuning this to standard tuning, which is E, A, D, G, B, and E. Always stretch the strings out just a little bit and give it one more tune. The action feels great also. It's a nice low comfortable action. It's still high enough for slide. It's not so low that, you know, you can't play slide on it. Alright, let's see what this baby sounds like. I can already tell it's got that blues sound, you know, it's got that, you know, there's, like, it's not a big dreadnought style guitar, you know, so it's not this, you know, massive kind of sound, which is nice when you're playing blues, because a lot of those old roots and blues instruments, especially those old, like, Sears guitars, they just have this vibe that's much more like, you know, you're hanging out in this bluesy parlor or something like that. Oh man, that is killer. Look at the colors too. I know it's you can probably see it a good bit in the video, but I'm sure it just doesn't do justice to what it looks like in person. It just almost glows, that red in the sunlight, and the grain is, it's just enough there to where you can tell you're playing something that's made out of wood, you know. There's nothing wrong, you know, a lot of people love a nice smooth finish to a guitar, but I really enjoy when you can feel the wood grain and you get a sense that you're playing this organic piece of material right here. I'm going to tune it down to an open G tuning, and I'm going to play a little bit of slide on it just to hear what that sounds like too. So I'm going to tune the A string down to a G, and I'm going to tune the E string to a D, and the high E I'm going to tune down to a D. So that's D, G, D, G, B, D. I love it, I love it. So you can tell, you know, the tone also, it sounds like a lot of those old, you know, those old blues guitars. I think that's just the best way I can put it. It doesn't sound like, you know, a big bluegrassy guitar or folk guitar. It's definitely got that sort of desperate, you know, nice delta tone. And again, this finish also, it's not sprayed on, it's all hand done. And you can see on Patch's blog also, he posts a lot of the videos of him in the process of building these, and I think he's got a few videos on there. There's time-lapse videos of him putting these finishes on, and it's all hand done with oils and stains. So again, it's got this nice uniform look to it. You can tell there are differences. It doesn't look like it was machine done. You can just tell someone put their hands in it and put a lot of time and love into building this instrument. If you look closely too at the inlay around the sound hole, looks so nice. That little chunks of mother of pearl, just almost like a little mosaic effect in there. But looking at that pickup also, I want to hear what that sucker sounds like. So I'm going to plug this into, I've got this little battery-powered Roland Cube amp over here, and it's got the plug right here, which is also where you, you know, you put your guitar strap. And notice also it's got another strap button right here, and I love when acoustic guitar builders put a second button right here so you don't have to tie the strap to your headstock. That always works, but I think it's a lot more comfortable when you have a second strap button. So let me get this amp turned up here. So you know, you don't often see, or you sometimes see them, but I asked specifically for this pickup on this sound hole because I love the bluesy sound you get when you mix, especially a humbucker pickup with an acoustic guitar. It's sort of like, sounds like a big hollow body. Sounds a little bit like an acoustic, a little bit like a hollow body electric. I've got all the I've got all the tone knobs, the treble, the middle, and the bass all zeroed in right in the center, so you can just hear what the pickup sounds like in the guitar. I've got a little bit of reverb on it, but those are the only that's the only settings, the only effects that I've got. A little bit of gain. I'm going to turn that down actually. There we go. Oh man, it plays so well too and so easily. It's one of those acoustics where you're not having to fight the size of it, either the size of the body to get comfortable, to get a good playing position. You're not fighting the neck. The neck, you know, it's not as thin as an electric. It's not as thick as a lot of those big baseball bat necks. You know, especially the old L1s. Again, this is modeled after those old Gibson L1 style guitars. And those didn't have, I don't think, truss rods back in those early models. So they'd have what they call now the baseball bat necks. You know, you'd have to really just have a huge chunk of wood to support the string tension. And so this one has a much more comfortable neck to play. So you get that old vintage bluesy acoustic guitar sound, but you don't have to fight the guitar to get the sound either. It's got a nice, comfortable position. Again, I love that volume knob that's on that pickup. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Make sure you check out wideskyguitars.com. Go like his Facebook page, and I'll see you next time.